What's good, everybody out there? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of J&D Tubi Reviews, where we talk about everything related to Tubi. I'm your host, D'Ron Alexander, with my co-host, Jerry Dinkins. Basically, we're just two niggas who went and bought some podcast equipment and decided to bring our everyday conversation to the internet to see if people either agreed or disagreed with our opinions about Tubi movies. We are not professionals. Please take that into consideration when leaving all your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section. Man, we're just some niggas on the internet trying to have some fun. This particular episode of J&D Tubi Reviews actually won't be a Tubi review at all. We are about to interview one of the greatest independent film directors on this side of the Mississippi, Mr. Omar Soto, aka Lilo. So with that being said, let's introduce this two-time Emmy Award winner and get down to business.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here, y'all.
Man, look, it is an honor and a privilege to have you in here. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Appreciate it.
So check it. Before we get on, right, it's two things you need to know before we get started. One, we are not professionals. That is the slogan. That is what we go by. And number two, this is a cognac-friendly platform, so please feel free to pull up and sip.
Well,
he said, "Man, I have to get it."
If that's the case,
is that 1738?
What's that?
This is from Venezuela. This is Santa Teresa 1796 rum.
Oh, he's showing out.
Special
he's showing
edition.
out.
Well, now I thought I was doing some of my little 1738.
This is for special occasions, and tonight is a special occasion.
Yo, let's do
That's
it.
what's
Come
up,
on
man.
now.
Let's go.
Go ahead, jump
But hey, by the way, Lilo, let's start it off. Let's kick it off, man. Where you from? Like, where your background, your nationality? Like, how did you grow up? Like,
I am originally from Venezuela, South America, next to Colombia.
Okay.
People that don't know. I came here when I was 7 years old. Went back to Venezuela when I was like 15. I did college down there. Finished the last year of high school. Then I came back to the States, but I also lived in like 5 other countries in between.
Damn.
Damn. Well, hold on.
I'm curious,
where were we at?
So I also lived
mercenary.
doing the same job, cinematography. So I had the privilege to work in lived in Chile, Argentina, Aruba, obviously Venezuela, and then here in the U.S. And I lived in Jersey, Florida, and now I'm staying here in Atlanta. This is where I settled down. This is where I got my family. So Atlanta's the spot. It's the new Hollywood. It's the Black Hollywood.
So your Spanish is pretty fluent, huh?
Yeah. When I'm at home with my family, with my mom, I only speak Spanish.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, check this out. Cada vez que alguien me pregunta decir algo en español, yo pregunto para dinero. ¿Me entiendes?
All right.
I know a little something.
Nice. So yeah, man, I've been, but I love it here. Cannot complain.
Okay.
Well, I wanna know a little bit about like what was it that got you excited or like eventually starting, or like what was it that made you want to get behind the camera and start doing, directing and cinematography? Like what made you want to get involved in creating movies?
So when I was like a kid, I always wanted to do like animation, like 3D animation, that type of stuff. But in Venezuela, they don't have that career. Keep in mind, third world country, underdeveloped, your options are limited. And if you wanted to pursue like television, you were just basic local TV. Mm-hmm. So I decided to go for graphic design. So I went to school for graphic design, and then when I was going to school graphic design, I was doing an intern job at a production company. And that's where I learned about editing and special effects and that type of stuff, and then pushed me into the camera, doing social media content, photography, and scaled my way up all these years into what I am now. Okay. And now it's like full-time movies, cinematographer.
Right. I was checking out some of your work, by the way, and I heard you say photography, and you were stressing like that you started with foods, contractors, commercials, and type shit.
Yes.
What were you doing? Like, how did you?
So back in Venezuela, I started doing food photography. Like, keep in mind, it got to a point that the country, it was so hard to survive that I would tell like the restaurants, hey, listen, I'll take the pictures for your social media. Just give me food in exchange. It was that hard.
Damn.
So I would do that, and I would improve my craft. And then one client got me another client. Next thing you know, I was doing hotels, and then I was getting a little bit of money on the, more money. And then I managed to like go to Aruba and work on restaurants, hotel there, and get more money and skill my way up. But that's how I started. Now hardships make you a better person.
Hell yeah.
So I know what it is to like have no gear, have nothing, and make it work.
Right.
And I think that's been one of the things that have made me like succeed or become better at what I'm doing. I'm still learning.
Right, most definitely.
But that definitely helped me. Man, being hungry gets you.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. Shit, you gotta eat now.
Yeah. So I think that was one of my drive was like, okay, I have to do this if I want to pursue this. And there was a lot of opportunities for me to do all this shit. I was like, no, I want to pursue this.
Right.
And here I am.
So was there so fast forward and like coming like to the United States, you know what I'm saying, and doing what you're doing, was there ever a project that you got on where you felt like either like one of them I made it moments type of thing, or like this is where I need to be type of thing, like I'm finally here, you know what I'm saying?
There's like several ones in every place, but like one of them that was like pretty cool. I grew up listening to T-Pain. Okay. Growing up, I used to love T-Pain, and when I left Venezuela, I told my best friend, watch me work for T-Pain. I told him that just fucking around.
Dope.
Man, they were looking for some like videographers a couple years ago, like 2-3 years ago, and I got the opportunity and I worked with him for a month.
Dang, with T-Pain?
T-Pain. I was like, you know what? I didn't get paid. But
don't matter. Don't matter. God damn it.
It was like an internship.
Right.
But I was like, you know what? I'm in the right spot. Obviously, that was pretty cool because I grew up listening to him. But like, there was other opportunities, like when I work in New York, doing some like some stuff for like a casting company, and then I work with other directors. Like, there have been other things that, man, I'm doing this. I'm grateful. When I got my first Emmy, that was pretty cool too. Like, it's gratifying, but it also is like, okay, if I can do that, I gotta keep on doing it and keep on doing it.
Right.
Not give up
for real.
And not take that shit to your head. Because that's a lot of people. When people get like a little money or whatever, that shit goes to your head. As soon as you make it, you will lose it.
Hell yeah. I'm a victim of that.
He said, I'm a victim of that. Hey, let me ask you this though. What do you like shooting? You like shooting photography, video? Like, what is your like go to? Like, I'm a bad motherfucker when I do this.
I think I'm really good at editing. But I think I'm better at doing video.
Okay.
I mean, photography, I got it down to a T, but it's like I know how to do the perfect photo for headshots or for food. That's it. It's just a formula for me. But like what I'm more passionate.
What are those 4 clips like that you were shooting? You had like 4 photos, but in the same scene type. Like it was the same scenery, but 4 different shots stacked on top of each other.
Oh,
like,
okay.
What were you trying to get across?
Those are actually stills from the video.
Okay.
So those are different scenes. Like, okay, these are actual like frames from the clip that I'm recording. So it's not photography, it's actually video.
Oh damn.
So I'm like, okay, this shot look amazing. I just took a screen capture of that and then just stack them and like, okay, this is how I can make the video look.
Oh,
like,
dope.
And you can just freeze the frame and look like a picture.
That's pretty cool.
Exactly. It looked
exactly. Yeah. So I enjoy video a lot more because you can play with lights, you can, create emotions, tell a story.
Right.
Now, for photography, for me, it's more like make money type of thing. Like, okay, I get this photo shoot, make $1 that's it. I'm not as passionate as making movies.
Well, check it out, right? I kind of wanted to stay like in like a chronological order, like to get your story and where you came up to, but it's something like that's on my mind because like basically we're a movie critic platform, basically. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always curious, like, how do you feel if and when you get negative backlash about the films that you make, like the criticism, whether it's a screenshot, something you might have missed, like does that affect you any?
Well, I'll be like, oh shit, I missed that shit.
damn.
Mine,
like OCD.
I have so much control. I have like some limited control because let's say the actor doesn't know its line and we're struggling, we're over time. I cannot control. I cannot tell him learn the lines, motherfucker. You know.
Right.
Or let's say we have limited resources for props. We have to make it work. I'm having to problem solve. Like, how do I make this shit work? Make it look realistic.
Right.
With what I have.
I got you.
And it's a challenge. Like I've seen a lot of Tubi movies. A lot of them are like low budget, but I try to catch the positive of like, okay, they're trying to tell this story, all right, but some stuff is just trash.
Yeah.
But most of them have good footage though. Like it's clear footage,
but sometimes it's both. Sometimes it's they might have an amazing footage, but the story is trash.
Yeah. Right. That's definitely true. But do the negative backlash, like if you ever get something, does it bother you, like, or do you just take it on the chin and learn from it?
I just grab it. I'm like, you know what? He's right. Now, if it's saying that something that they don't make sense, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about.
Because regular people don't know, like, filming. They don't know what it takes to go in the film. They just looking at, from a virgin's eye. You know what I'm saying?
But it all comes down to budget. When you have a bigger budget, you have more crew, you have more, resources. You can make the film better. I can show you guys, I work on my personal movie that I've been working on for 10 months, and you're gonna see there's a big difference from maybe that something that we did in a couple of weeks. Because we had a bigger budget, or we're like, oh, let's say our budget is limited, but we're like, okay, let's do this part. When we get more money, we shoot some more. I'm not in a rush.
Okay.
Make it perfect.
Yeah, that's dope.
But sometimes producers would have, okay, we only have $20,000 to make this movie happen, and I want fireworks and I want all this shit. You know what I mean? So it all comes down to that.
And like some movies really be like as low as $20,000.
Oh yeah.
Damn. Shit, probably lower than that.
Oh yeah.
I see you can make a movie with $20,000.
Like, are you serious? Now what happens, and I don't want to talk shit, but the truth of the matter is some producers that I've encountered in the past be like, I want to make 10 movies with $100,000 just to make a quick buck in return. I'm like, okay, you're sacrificing quality, you're sacrificing the story, you're rushing the project. You're only going to make a little bit of money. Like your return is not going to get higher because you're seeing it more as a business. But at the end of the day, this is an art form.
Exactly.
Like people still get it twisted. Oh, it's my money. Of course it's your money, and it is a business. But you cannot sacrifice the art just so you can make a big buck turnaround.
That makes sense.
And people don't get that, or people get mad, or like, oh, whatever. But that's the reality of the fact.
Welcome.
Thanks. The quality, though, like, as far as Tubi movies go, like, I think, to be honest, it's like a Class A and a Class B within Tubi already. Like, because you see the good movies, then you see the iPhone movies.
Yeah.
Like, people literally shoot movies with iPhones. And what do you think about that? The class is like when people promote this like this, and they might want you to do some footage like, in a trash movie.
It comes down to obviously if the price is right, or if I believe in the project, I will negotiate with them with the price. But if they just they don't value my work, I'm not gonna waste my time with them.
I feel you.
Now, if I work with people like, listen, man, this is my story. I don't have this, and they pitch it to me in a way that, you know what, I believe in that project. Let's make it work. I bring in all my gear. Don't worry about it. Let's do it.
You gonna make it happen.
Okay. And also, like, there's a lot of people, or there's several people that what happened with Tubi was Tubi became a platform that any independent creator can expose their project. Kind of what Netflix did in the beginning, many years ago. Now, Tubi has been bought by Fox. Now they're curating a little bit more, but it's still flexible to anybody. But now they're curating it. But what happened is a lot of people submitted, they took advantage of that, and that's why they created that terminology. Oh, it's a Tubi movie because it's a Tubi movie, yeah. And it doesn't have to be like that. Like at the end of the day, like I don't want to have my movies just on Tubi. I want to have my movies on other platforms, which I have.
Prime, Hulu, all that too.
Exactly, but like I don't see myself as a Tubi creator. I see myself as a creator that has worked on Tubi and other platforms. And people get it twisted. Oh, you're a Tubi actor. No, I'm an actor. Obviously, my work has been seen more on Tubi because it's been low independent. It's been an open opportunity for them to be exposed. And a lot of people who are good actors, they've had opportunities to grow on other platforms, which is great. Right. So I'm not gonna bash on people who are starting out and with low budget But if they get their shit together, the next project's gonna get better. Now, if the next project is not better, like what are you doing?
Right.
You know?
He's like, that's on you, man.
Do you think that negative stigma will ever leave, like from like the Tubi name, or like you're a Tubi actor or a Tubi movie? Do you think the platform will either like maybe filter the movies more before they allow them on the platform, or they just all about money?
I think it's gonna be like, are you a SoundCloud rapper or are you a rapper?
Exactly. That's the perfect example.
Like, are you consider yourself a SoundCloud rapper or you consider yourself a rapper? A lot of people who are really good have blown up, started out as a SoundCloud rapper.
Yep.
Now they're rappers, period.
That's
so are you
I never looked at it like that.
Yeah, that's a good example right there.
Like give it to you like this. The film industry has gone the last couple of years through some hardships. We had a strike, we had, COVID, the union, all this shit. And it has shifted kind of like what happened to the music industry. You have independent rappers or singers or whatever who they're not working with the studio. They're doing their own thing and they're building their own community and they're blowing up. Same thing is happening with Tubi. Now Tubi's getting their shit together. They're curating. And it's going to get to a point that they're going to require certain quality to be on that platform.
That's what I was wondering about.
Yep.
So what you guys are doing, it's going to blow up. It's going to keep on growing. You just got to keep, be consistent because it will evolve. Like everything. Like Blockbuster.
With that being said, go ahead.
Like Blockbuster, everybody was like, "Oh, now where's Blockbuster? That doesn't exist no more."
Exactly. I think it's hold on, no, wait. That's not true. I think I seen it
one
on Facebook. It's like one of them in like Oregon or something like that.
For real, man. But look, with that being said, riding off of your last statement, where do you envision Tubi being in the next 5 to 10 years?
It's gonna be like any other platform, like Paramount, Netflix. It's
so you will have a
subscription.
They'll eventually have a subscription.
They already have. I mean, right now they don't have it because they just bought the platform a couple of years and still curating it.
Yeah,
but it's owned by Fox. Okay,
exactly.
They need money.
Right.
They're getting money already by the ads. But if people are gonna get tired of the ads, okay, you want to pay? All right, it's gonna be $10, $20. You never know. So
you sure are.
So what actually goes in, like if you could summarize and give me like a short version of like putting together an independent film with like what would you consider like a medium budget, 50K, 100K? Like what goes like from a person that I have a story or I got a script and I want to turn this into a movie, like just a short version, because I'm pretty sure the process you could talk about it all day, but if you just had to give a short version though.
Well, back in the day, just to make like the micro budget, back in the day, old Hollywood, it was the minimum. It was like $500,000. That was micro budget.
Damn.
Now with this new technology, with new lights, stuff that's more accessible to creators, you can make the movie with like no money or little to no money. You just got to make sure you have a solid script, and obviously it's going to take time. But if you want to make like a decent movie, you can go as little as like 20, 30, 40, 50. It depends also on what crew you're bringing along and what they're bringing to the table with, saving you costs.
Right.
Because if let's say you have never done this, you have no idea what's going on, and you want to hire a solid crew, like let's say you want to hire us, like my whole crew, it's going to cost you some money because we've done this for a hot minute. And if you have no idea, it's going to cost you more money because we're having to do your work for you.
Right.
But if you have like some experience about, okay, I know how to do this, I know how to do that, a couple people, you will save some money, and this is not new. This has been going on forever. Like when Tarantino did his first film, he used to film on the weekends. He would borrow a camera and bring a couple of buddies. All right, let's shoot this thing, and he spent like a year making that first movie.
Damn.
I think Pulp Fiction. He spent a shit ton of weekends just trying to shoot and get it done. He finally got Bruce Willis and all of this, and then obviously actors back in the day, they were also kind of starting out.
Right. So they weren't charging $2 million to come in and film.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's also about connection. Also, like the famous saying is it's not who you know, it's who knows you.
Right.
Type of thing. So
yeah, I can dig it.
But you can go from as low as that, and obviously you can go as high as you want.
Okay.
But it at the end of the day, like I say, it's all comes down to how well you organize your project. How do you make it efficient with what you have and have a solid script? If you don't have a solid script, you got nothing.
I got you. And when you say a solid script, can a solid script be a good story, or do you have to have it screen written for it to pan out as a movie?
Like a lot of people would say, "Oh, I have a good idea," but you
Okay.
can turn an idea. You have to turn it into 80 pages, 90 pages.
Right.
It's like to make it into a solid script, like a film. Because I can come up with 20 movies ideas right now, but if I don't have it written as an actual script, it's not written. It's not a movie. It's not a script.
So it's not.
It's just an idea. Like a lot of people will pitch me like, "Oh, I have an idea. This guy, talking to this one girl, and then they do this next. Okay, you have it written. Oh no, I have an idea in my mind. You have it written for it to be.
It don't mean nothing until it's written.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
How hard is it to turn thoughts and words into a script?
It's not easy. I heard people saying, there's this one director, I'm not gonna name. I had a bad experience with her. She said, I write a script in a day. Keep in mind, all the characters are just an extension of her. So they all. So she is a middle-aged woman who grew up in the high society. So let's say the bad guy from the hood, he talks like a middle-aged woman from the high society.
Trying to sound tough.
Right. And then I'm a big pusher of characters should have layers.
Mm-hmm.
It has to have personality. It has to have conflicts. It has to have like layers. If it's flat, it's boring. Like when we did Father May I, Uncle Willie, he has layers. He's like there are some scenes I was like, you guys did the review on him talking to the teddy bear,
right?
When we did that, make it crazy. There's like that was in the script talking to the fucking teddy bear. So our character, he developed those layers to make you understand, like, why is he acting like that? He's not just flat. He's not just saying, "Oh, she loves me. I'm gonna go talk to her." No, you have to have, different types of. It's like a roller coaster,
right?
And that makes the movie interesting.
So I remember a while. It was two things I want to get into, kind of three, but I'm gonna wait, to get into the other one in a minute. But I remember a while back. This was years ago. I read this book called The Screenplay Writer's Bible. You familiar with it?
No.
Basically, it's a book that basically teach you how to write a screenplay. I think the guy who wrote it, I believe one of his students was like the writer of the Pacific Rim or something like that. Okay. I could have it wrong, but I think it's something like that. But basically, what I got from the book, and I really want you to correct me if I'm wrong. It was basically when you're writing a script, like you can't write out a thought like you would in a book. So like if you're writing a novel, you can write a lot of narrative about what the character's thinking, in a particular. But in a screenplay, only thing you can write out is what the camera can see.
Exactly, and what the camera wants, what you want the camera to see.
Right.
That's what you added in the action dialogue.
That would seem complicated to be able, like, how do you express emotion without being able to write what the character's thinking?
So when you write that down and then you sit down with your crew. Or with the actors, a good actor will ask you a lot of questions. Would ask you, why is he acting this way? Why is he thinking this way? And they would have to talk to the director, like, okay, get in that mind space to make that character come to life. And whenever I work with actors that they ask me all these questions when I'm directing or when I'm working on set, talking to the director, that means he wants to be very involved. He makes that character come to life.
Right.
Not just saying your lines and be over with. It's another paycheck. So and some of them they just do it for the paycheck. Others actually take it serious, and those ones who take it serious do make the character stand out.
Right.
So it's and also a script it's basically the skeleton of the movie. You don't have to do it word by word what it says on the script either.
I was going to ask you that, like, how often do y'all improvise on set? Like as far as filming, right?
Not in every scene. Some scenes is very straightforward. You cannot overcomplicate that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to add or remove from the movie, and it's going to take time if you want to change it up just to change it up. But at the end of the day, some things when you write it down doesn't make sense on when you're shooting it, so you have to work around it.
How are you able to see, like, as a director? How are you able to see someone else's vision though? Like that got to be a task within itself. Like a person bring you this story and be like, man, this is what I want it to look like. Like, how are you able to see through their lenses?
So keep in mind, so usually there's three positions on a set head department. So you have obviously you have the writer. Usually the writer don't even step on. He doesn't even step on set. He just write the script and hand it over to the director. Now the director, their job is to really understand it and like dive into all the complexities, and then he will have to talk to the cinematographer, the director of photography. Let's say in my case, and like I want to shoot it like this. I want it to look like this, and I'm like, okay, and we'll negotiate. How can we make it possible come to life? So I'll be like, okay, this scene is pretty sad or whatever, pretty moody. All right, let's make it all dark. Let's just have a small little light hitting him on the face. Now, which angle? What do we want to show? Oh, we want to show the gun, and we want to show his face. All right, let's just focus on that. How can we light that, and make it match with the whole scene? So it's like a dance. The director of photography and the director, we just have to like figure out how we can make it work and find the best angle and the best tempo. And a lot of times, like in speed, what I mean by speed is like some scenes are written. You might say something in one sentence, but that scene can be long. What do I mean by that? Let's say in the script, I say he's sitting down contemplating, looking out the window. All right, it's just a shot, but do you want to like show him like looking out the window and then show outside the window he's maybe looking at something outside the window and then back into his eyes and maybe a little bit longer to make us think that he's thinking of something, that his mind is like something is going on in his mind. So all those little details, even though it's not written, with the director and the actor and we all try to figure out how can we make that
right
exactly. on the movie.
So how often? So like this, let's take something like that. How often is it? Like, is it majority just you and your creativity, or how often is it? Man, I seen one time in this one movie it looked like this. I'm gonna try it.
It varies. It varies per scene to scene. Sometimes I saw this. Now, keep in mind the biggest mistake that people can make as a filmmaker is like, I want or producer can come and tell you, I want this movie to look like this movie.
Right. That's what I was getting. That's what I was getting. That's what I was edging at.
Yeah, say that. It's like me going to the studio. I'm like, hey, I want to sound like 50 Cent.
What the fuck?
Okay.
But I seen you in one scene when you were shooting. I don't know what you were shooting or what movie you were shooting, but you was manipulating the light. Like it was daylight outside, but you had a spotlight shooting through the window and a sheet over this window, so it would have a duller light. Then another light hitting him in the back of the head. I'm like, so what are you really looking for when you do all those light manipulations?
So let's say it's 2 a.m. in the morning, and then we're out of time. We cannot push production. We have that location in that one spot, and the scene is daytime. Oh shit! What do we do now? All right, let's blast some windows. Let's cheat it because the audience doesn't know when they look like some of those movies, some of those scenes that you saw like on the projects that look like night. It's not really night. It's daytime, or vice versa.
That's impressive, man.
That's crazy.
And that's why you have to, obviously you need more gear, more lights. Control the light and make it look real, even though it's not. And I think it's a fun challenge for me and my crew to like, okay, how can we make this look daytime or nighttime?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's black out some windows. Let's, and cinematography, it's basically the key component, like to the actual technical part of cinematography is shaping light. Like when you ask the cinematographer, like how can you shape the light to, make the characters pop out? How do you
do what you want to do?
Does it ever get annoying, or is it more like say like a nerd playing Tetris or doing it in a Rubik's Cube? Is it like you like the challenge and it's fun to create it, or is it like, damn, now we got to do this shit? How the fuck am I gonna pull this off?
When you're working on set for 16 hours, I'm like, god damn it,
god damn it.
Trying to go home.
What the fuck?
Right. Are you serious right now? We could have shot this shit earlier today.
Right.
Another thing.
It happens.
You said your favorite camera is any camera that you're close to.
That is true.
Explain that.
Because right now, hey, you want to make $1,000? Come on down. All right, let me see what I got right here. I got my
All right.
this shit.
Hey, I'm telling you.
And also,
But can you shoot quality with it?
we'll make
You
it
think
work.
you can shoot a quality? Okay.
Well, obviously, it comes down to lighting. If you have good lighting, you can make it work with any camera. Obviously, better camera gives you better dynamic range. It's easier to control the light. You have a more raw footage. When you have a raw footage, you can fix it in post. Make those adjustments. Obviously, it does help. But I said that to motivate people who don't have the resources, that they can still go out and shoot a movie.
Don't make an excuse.
Like at one time, I did this project. Here it is. I had a shitty old camera.
He said I had a shitty old camera.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is my old camera. This camera is from 2010. Okay, so I shot this with this camera. It's 2010, and this project I did, it was like 2021. Okay, it's still this is an old camera, and I did a project that they gave me a paycheck for $20,000 with this.
With an old camera.
So I was like, okay, that's also like I said, any camera that I made it work. I made it work with the lighting. I got the messages across. I made it look good with what I had in my possession.
But your knowledge of lighting helped you though.
And lighting, the story, the cinema, like the way that we shot it, it all plays a factor.
Let me. So there's a couple of things I want to get into, but one thing I am curious about. What was your initial thought when you came across our videos?
This shit is funny.
I
gotta meet these guys.
Because like I know, like because we're critical about movies, but at the same time, like we try to show love, where we feel.
That's what I appreciated, because you guys were looking at positive stuff and then understanding the movie, not just looking at like why they did this shit, why they did this.
Exactly.
But you guys were trying to understand how they made it work with what they had, and obviously focus a lot on the story, not on the cinematography. You guys focus on the movie itself.
Right.
Like, oh, why she's a shit mom. She is.
Right.
Hey, seriously, like what the fuck?
And
Uncle Willie, like
I give you guys props for that. Like that's what a proper
it,
critic should be, because you guys are trying to understand why our characters are doing these type of things in this film.
Right.
And
that's them like the things we pay attention to in the movie, like when we looking at a movie, even outside of reviewing, just checking the movie out. Obviously the story, because we want to be entertained, and I don't know, like I say, sometimes I think maybe I look too hard into independent films, because I'm a content creator myself. Like I'm nothing close to a director, or like I'm not even gonna pretend like I am, but I play around with filming and editing more than the average person would. So I kind of look at movies, with a different lens.
You know how complicated it is. You know how complex it is to put a piece together and make it look good.
Exactly. That's what I was going to ask you. Because I see you pulled your camera out, and I was always under the impression that the lenses play a big part in filming. So like if you had to put a ratio together, is it like would the lenses be just as equal as the editing, or it don't really matter about the lens as long as you can edit, or you got to have the right lens in order to, you see what I'm saying?
They make a big difference. Obviously, I have cheap lenses. I have expensive lenses. Let me pull out a couple right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I seen a box. He had like 6 lenses in the box.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a couple here. Like this is a 24 millimeter lens, but this is also a 20 to 55. So basically, they have the same range, but you can see the size comparison, and obviously the weight. This is 3 times heavier because. Right. It has other things. They have a better glass, it's better build quality, the focus is smoother, the way the light hits it, it's also different. So it does improve the quality a lot. So it does play a major role. Like, you can see the glass, the way the glass is. Or let me just pull this.
That one's circular, isn't it? Or is that like a globe inside that one?
It's circular. They're both spherical lenses, and obviously the way that they're built, they're different. Like this is one, obviously it's more expensive, but you can see when you see the image comparison, there's a big difference. But and obviously, the more expensive the gear you have, it's gonna look technically should look better,
right?
But that shouldn't be your limitation for you to make a movie.
Okay.
Fair.
Obviously, I would not shoot a movie with this no more. I would shoot it with a higher lenses because it's part of the growth.
What's a piece of equipment that you don't have that you would like to have right now to film in a movie?
I would like to buy an ARRI camera, but they go for like $100,000.
You got that, don't you, Jerry? You got 100 laying around, don't you?
I live in an apartment, man. I'm renting. What are you talking about?
I'm trying to tell you.
I'll get there eventually. That's my plan for a couple of years. And a lot of things like you just rent it. When you have the budget for production, you just rent that gear.
Just grab it.
Yeah, rent it. And
I seen you using some. I don't know. It wasn't a tripod or nothing, but you had one of the. It was like a bulky like rail that
with them rollers on
the camera ride on.
Oh,
yeah, with rollers on it.
Yeah, that's the Dana Dolly.
The Dana Dolly.
Dana Dolly. So it's basically you got two pipes and then you have like this base with wheels and then it allows you to move the camera left and right. Now, a lot of people will say, why don't you just buy a gimbal and call it a day? The thing about gimbal, it's not going to look the same when you want to do those smooth
roll.
No, it doesn't. There's a particular look. And also, it's like when you want to zoom in, you zoom in on the camera. It's never the same.
Not the same.
So, and that Dana Dolly gives it a particular, and you don't use it for everything. You only use it for certain parts that you want to have that small, that subtle movement.
Okay.
So every tool that you acquire serves a purpose. Right. Sometimes I don't like Parasite. I use with that project. It's not out yet.
Parasite.
It's gonna come out soon. They should be submitted tomorrow. That one.
It's a movie.
That whole movie, the camera does not move at all. But there's a particular scene where everything goes to shit. The camera moves. It's handheld.
Damn.
And it serves a purpose because the way that I shot it was like, okay, I want everything to be just not move, no movement. And then when everything goes to chaos, the camera's moving with you. So you break away from what you have been seeing for the last hour. So, there's other things that, I'm trying to analyze to make it look like, oh shit, they did this. Like,
Man, let's get into how you won 2 Emmys, bro. That is major. Like, it ain't you. We don't run across people that win those kind of awards every day. I don't know if you noticed, but we're like we regular guys.
Well, actually, I won 1 Emmy, 1 Telly. I got 2 Emmy nominations.
Dope.
So this year I got 2 Emmy nominations so yeah, technically I got 2 nominations, 1 win, so it will be 3, and then Telly. So Emmy, the first Emmy that I won was for actually for a commercial, best promotional campaign. So we did a campaign for this real estate agency company, and we won that in the Spanish department. And then the 2 Emmy nominations that I did, which they were competing with each other, which is crazy. I was my own competition for 2 different companies. One was for a law firm, and the other one was for a different nonprofit company. And the Telly that I won, which is this one, it was for a commercial that we did for a lawyer. So I just got this a couple weeks ago.
And that's the Telly.
Congratulations, bro.
This is the Telly. So the Telly is basically you competing against the whole. There was like 15,000 entries in different categories, and we won the silver on that category. And then,
congratulations, man, that's dope.
That's right there, man.
And hopefully we'll win next year. We got a couple other projects that we want to put out next year for that. And we got.
Where do you see yourself at?
Say that again?
Oh, no, I was saying, like, where do you see yourself at in the next couple of years?
Yeah.
Obviously, growing. I want to keep on making movies. I want to see myself obviously winning an Oscar. Who doesn't? But if I don't, and I just make a very good, successful
movie,
movie,
get one, man.
I'll be happy. Because like, there's a lot of like actors and producers that have never win an Oscar.
Right.
Like you got, Mel Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
He has done a lot of movies in Hollywood. Not a single time he won an Oscar.
Damn.
Until like recently, and they gave him for lifetime achievement for contributing to the Oscars.
Yeah.
Damn.
It was more like, okay, we giving you one because you have put in a lot of hours in the industry. Not
We give you that.
so it's like, okay, it's very hard.
Right.
Yeah.
But just to make it like, if I'm on Netflix, man, I'm on Netflix. Okay, I'll be happy.
I can dig it.
Shit, man. Tubi's gonna be a household name in a minute, man.
Come on now.
A lot of people know about Tubi. A lot of people.
Tubi, man.
Do you like do enough people like reach out to you in order for you to have enough work to turn down? Like, do you filter through what you're gonna work on, or is it just like, I'm working, you got some, you can pay, let's do it?
At the beginning, it was more like, okay, trying to get myself busy, and I was like undercutting myself. Now, I'm working a lot with the production company, so they gave me constant work, but I still keep my commercial clients. So if I'm not making money with films and movies, I'm making money with my commercial work. I do TV commercials, TV ads, photography. So I always gotta keep myself busy with that.
Right.
Shoot, I seen the music videos on there too.
Music videos. I try to now. If they don't pay me a lot of money for music videos, I'm not gonna do it. It's too much of a hassle.
I heard that. I heard them music videos be 10 times more unorganized than movie sets.
Not only that, you got motherfuckers singing, "I got the $1 million," and he's like, "Hey man, I give you $200 for this music video, man." You say you got millions of dollars.
Hey, you motherfucker!
You got Bugatti sitting out front. Where that bag at, man?
Oh, man, that's a loaner. My buddy over there, he let me borrow it. So
Man,
it's like,
get the fuck out of here.
now with commercial work, you're working with the business. You're working with like law firms,
Right.
with insurance companies. Like they
Guaranteed money.
they got a budget for the year. So obviously, once you land one of those clients and they're happy with your work, you got constant work every quarter. So that's what I try to do, and that's what I basically set my foundation on in order for me to buy the gear that I have.
Right.
And I'm still doing that. Like, I'm gonna be doing another commercial this next week with a law firm, and with that, I'll be able to cover bills, and and then I can focus on when the next movie comes along, and it's a balance,
Did you learn more about filming through school, or do you think you learned more off trial and error?
Man, working on sets, working with people, like filmmaking. It's a teamwork. It's a collaboration career, and you gotta learn from people. You gotta work with people for you to also grow and build a solid team. Like, whenever I hear people say, "I did this, I did that," not just you had a whole team. And when I work with people that they just want to take all the credit and not like say our team, like, bro, you did not do that shit by your own self. You did not shoot it, act it, edit it, produce it, distribute it all by yourself.
Wait. I do with my little skits on Instagram.
But that's different. That's different, though.
He said, "I do."
Yeah, them just little 7, 8, 9 second skits. with
Hey,
me,
let me
my
ask you
iPhone and
this,
my tripod.
Do you see yourself, or if you already have like interns or opening up a school to teach kids or adults to do what you do?
Well, I have worked with people. Sometimes they reach out, "Hey man, I wanna see how it is working on set." So I have to ask permission if I'm working on a position. "Hey, can I bring somebody along?" Or sometimes when I'm doing my own work, I would have like certain people who are like, I know them, and I just don't bring any strangers. I gotta like know the person also.
Right.
Because being on set, it's like, if somebody in your team fucks up, it's on you.
Right.
So I don't want to bring somebody who's gonna create drama or whatever, like when I'm working with a very important client. So I'm very delicate with that. Now, if I work with them before, or like I know the guy like has the potential to like really learn, I'll bring them to like one of my projects. All right, see how it is, and then I will refer them if we have a bigger project. Hey, they want you. I want you to come along, and then start getting their feet wet.
I can dig it.
Yeah.
You strike me as the type of person that is you strike me as somebody that's real particular. So I guess it's safe to assume to say you probably your biggest critic. Is there ever a project? Has there ever been a project that you particularly done, and you was like, you know what, I got everything I got out of it. Like, this is the one I did right. Like, I didn't didn't leave nothing messed up, like, because you know, as a critic of yourself, you can always go back and I fucked up right here, or I could have done this better. You got any projects where you like, this the one I did it right?
Man, even the one that I won the Emmy for, this is shit. How the hell I want this shit? I don't know.
Right.
I'm being serious. I'm like, okay, it won. Like that it's like it's really good. But now looking at it playback, I'm like, I should have put a light here. I should have done this, man. We should have done this. And I'm always like that.
That's good though.
Well, let me follow up with this. Is it ever one where you get the opposite, where you like, you know what, this the one that's dope, and it is don't do shit, like don't nobody fuck with it?
Yep.
I know that feeling.
I did this one movie. I said this is gonna be the next Friday.
That's crazy, man. And it was trash.
I'm still waiting. What Friday? It's been like crazy, 200 Fridays ago, and I'm still waiting.
Right.
Hey.
But I think that's
let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
As an artist, you have to be your own critic in order for you to grow. Because if you get the shit go to your head, there's always somebody better than you. There always is.
Right.
Like I'm not inventing the wheel. Like there's always like new kids come around. Oh, I just shot this with the phone. Like, what? How you know? There's always gonna be somebody better, younger, faster, with more money. So it's up to you to like, okay, how can I improve? How can and a lot of like creators and people that I work with, I try to learn a lot. Like last year, I was working with this one project that it was a pilot, and they brought in this DP, and I was gonna be DP. And my first thought, I was like, man, I wanted to DP this, whatever. I was like in my mind, but I didn't say anything to production. Next thing you know, that the DP that they brought along was the DP that did Black Lightning, did a whole bunch of shows for Fox, like Netflix. And like, oh wow, that's a real DP. So I learned those 3 days. It was more knowledgeable for me, like more. How do you say it? I gained more learning than just getting a paycheck.
Right.
And I just how did she? It was a lady too. How did she she write like this? Okay, how did she shape that? Like, okay, how did she did the frame rate? So I was just learning, and then after that, my cinematography went from here to here in 3 days. So you have to take it with a grain of salt, like, and your ego has to go aside.
Well, is the film world like? Is it like is it like politics? Like you ever watch a film and you be like, I could have done that. I was just as good as that person, but they got it because they had a name. Yep. They knew somebody. Yeah, I've always been curious about that.
All the time. Like any industry, it happens all the time. Mm-hmm. And there's drama, and there's gossip,
popularity contests, all that type of stuff.
All that shit.
Hey, so let me ask you: is there somebody that you would really want to work with right now that like you really motivated to try to get in one of your films?
Man, I mean, there's a lot of known actors that I want to work with, but they cost a lot of money.
Right.
I got you.
But go ahead.
No, go ahead.
But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, I tell some producers, I tell them this, okay, we can have that person. Let's say we have the budget to bring somebody in, but it's gonna take all the budget just to pay him, and everything else is gonna be, half-ass. I'd rather just have a good up-and-coming actor to play that role, and then if the whole production is great, and then we expose him that actor's talent and the whole crew talents, and we make something bigger. Like, how many actors you've seen on like Netflix shows that you have never seen, and now they have become a popular face? Mm-hmm. They believe in that actor, or they believe in that person, and I feel that like with these actors that are working on these certain movies, on these like independent movies, they're growing and they're doing it. And whenever I see them doing other projects and their bigger projects, I'm like, I work with that dude, and he's cool with me. Exactly. So him, he's gonna come along.
Right.
Exactly.
But hold on, but wait a minute. Like, would you ever do that like on the flip side? So like, say, like you had the budget to do a quality movie, but you had the resources to get. Say you was able to get like a Megan Good, but you knew that would take away from the budget though. Is it worth it sometime?
Well, if you're executive producer and you're playing with your own money, you put in the money, and you think that's the best call, probably they will do it. Personally, when I did my movie's coming later this year. It's called The Border Baby. I wanted to bring this particular actor from Mexico, but he was like too expensive. But I brought somebody else from Mexico who was less expensive, but he was blowing up. So I hired them. Now that person is doing interviews with like bigger actors. Like, oh, I played it well, and that person is one of my leads in my movie.
Dope.
So you caught the wave. You caught the wave.
Yeah, you gotta believe in people. Like when you do the casting and you meet them and you see the work, you also have an eye like this person has potential. This person is gonna blow up.
Mm-hmm.
This person is really good.
Shit, look at how you did with us.
Exactly.
Right? Now we about to blow up. So, like, how involved are you with the casting? Like, do the director get a big say so? Like, say it's not your project, you just the cinematographer. You know, like, do you get much say so in the casting?
Not really. If you're just cinematographer, you don't. But if you're close to the director and you're always working with them, you will tell them like, hey, listen.
Let's get into Father May I, because, like I said, we just interviewed Peggy Logan, you know, the lady that played Grandma Susie. Dope interview, man. The nicest lady you would ever meet. She did an awesome interview. No stumbles, no mess ups. I mean, that lady was like our auntie. Like, we've been knowing her for years. Dope. And I can't wait for you to see it. So let's talk about that project, man. What was it like putting that together?
Oh man, Father May I. It was when I first read the script. I was like, what the fuck we're gonna shoot? And there's some scenes that we had to cut out.
Huh?
Dude, I always wondered.
I can imagine.
There are some scenes that we had to cut out that I got a little too extreme.
Like vulgar or just the
like there was a scene that I don't know if I should be saying this, but there was a scene that she wakes up after Uncle Willie slept with the niece, and she's like covered in blood.
No, y'all didn't cut that out. That's it.
I'm talking about like she just.
It was more gruesome than that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And there was another scene though when he was saying, you know, take off your clothes, and obviously we got the kids out of the scene,
right?
And then Uncle Willie's like touching his parts.
Damn.
All right, it was too intense.
You gotta be careful with kids, even though like visually you're thinking the kids are there. Well, we're very like we don't do certain things in front of the kids. We gotta be protective. Right. So obviously the magic of editing makes it look like the kids are there.
Right.
But the kids aren't, and certain things, kids are not there when he was doing certain things. Because
obviously those kids seem a lot more mature than the average kid is. Like did y'all talk to them about like what was going, like what the movie was about, what was going on?
We had the parents there,
right?
And then we try to be very, at the end of the day, there's but we got to be very protected with the kids, and you know, making sure the kids and then the parents are okay with what we're doing to get the message across. I'm a big, like, even the beard, that's fake beard, and even though they had old Eve, listen,
hold on,
I did not choose that shit. I did not choose the old
I don't believe you. You told them to go to the store and get a 24-pack of OE. Bro, it was so much OE in that movie. Bro. Who the fuck drinks this?
Because I don't know. The prop master probably, they brought in like, okay, go get some beer that a pedophile uncle would drink. So they probably brought that shit in. We had 2 cases. We're not gonna buy more beer for the rest of the movie. We got enough beer for the whole scenes that we're gonna need.
That's too funny as fuck.
Did you think that was gonna stand out like that? Like, bro, in Atlanta?
Old English,
bro.
The good stuff.
That was hilarious. That was now I believe Clarence. It was fine him drinking that shit. That's, you know, he's fine. But Uncle Willie, the whole movie. When you guys said, "Are you guys sponsored by that?"
I'm saying, man.
But people liked it though, because people were like, "Oh hell, not with the OE."
That shit is funny, bro.
When we did part 2, we brought in some Heineken just to change it up.
Oh, really?
That's crazy, man.
Dude, I've seen all that OE, bro, and I was like, why is there so much old English in it? Like, because nobody drunk OE since '92. So I'm like,
that's strictly old school gangster beer.
I was looking at the comments, people saying, why the OE? Like, you guys, everybody was talking about it. I think that gave it a little bit of a comedy relief on that.
That's dope, though.
That shit is funny.
And the wardrobe, it was hilarious. Like some of the things that Uncle Willie was wearing, like, why are you wearing that? There was one scene that I was like, take that off. He was wearing like this little dress. I was like, nah, let's just put something else on, man.
He said, take that off.
Were y'all worried about the intro being so, like kind of weird? Like, was y'all worried about it turning off like viewers?
So originally we shot that towards the end. That was an added scene. Okay. So we were like, okay, we're gonna shoot this. He's being fucking crazy. He's going through an episode. And then I guess the director and then decided, let's just put this in the beginning to throw people off.
Okay.
And they did. Like, what the hell is wrong with this fucking man doing this shit?
It kind of threw me completely off, though. Like, to
now,
the point to where I might not have watched it.
Now, but you stuck around and you watched it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Facts.
And now going back, like, damn, he's bad shit crazy.
Exactly.
Right.
It made more sense. Once you watch it, you're like, damn, so this is exactly what the fuck is going on the whole time.
Hey, was you a part of Fumble Me Twice?
Yeah.
We getting ready to review that next.
Okay.
You guys saw it?
Spoiler alert.
No, we hadn't watched it yet. We hadn't watched it yet.
We're definitely about to review it.
All
Hey,
right.
and was you a part of Destiny too?
I did Destiny.
We had Destiny on the list.
Have you guys seen it yet?
I watched the beginning of it, but because he wasn't, Jerry wasn't watching it yet, so I was like, well, hold on, let me pause it and I'm gonna wait. But I started it though.
So I did Destiny. I actually directed Destiny.
Oh, really?
I did. The executive producer decided for me to shoot it and direct it. He's in Orlando. He asked me to shoot it, direct it. Now, keep in mind, this production, it was more bare bone compared to Father May I, production-wise. So we made it work with what we had. We did our best work possible. Now, keep in mind, Destiny is actually a book that the lady who wrote it decided to turn it into a movie.
Right.
It's a good. You're gonna have the same feeling that you had for the mom. Like, she's a piece of shit mom, but to the daughter, she's a piece of shit daughter. So that's kind of that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
we definitely got to check Destiny out.
And now, keep in mind, Destiny, I don't want to spoil too much, but the actress, she's 15. So
really?
So in the original script, when we decided to there's certain scenes that we cannot do this with the 15-year-old girl.
Exactly.
So we have to scratch it. Like I said, we have the base, that the story, the script is our base, but certain things doesn't make sense. We cannot do. So we made it at the end of the day, that movie is it's PG-13. It's not as intense as Father May I.
Okay.
So we did that one. We did Don't Phone Me Twice. We did Father May I 1, 2, and 3. 3 should be dropping any moment.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to that.
That one is
definitely getting a review.
Yeah. Peggy Logan. She was like, we gonna, that one exciting. So we ready for that one. But look, hey, I do want to ask you, if you had to recommend a movie for, based on what you done seen from us, we've been sitting here talking, you watched our review. What movie would you recommend us to go review?
If you guys should watch this comedy that we did. Like I said, Thanksgiving.
So the
Thanksgiving. It's
I looked it up too.
It's funny. It's not fancy. It's not, it's just a comedy movie.
So it's gonna give us a lot to talk about, huh?
It's very funny. You're like,
it is very funny.
We had Joe Doc in it. We had Marquise Moore. Okay. He was on ATL. He was on The Walking Dead. So we had Trey Chaney.
Okay.
So there's a good cast. It's funny.
Okay.
It's stupid funny. It's the type of movie you sit down.
It's like How High?
Stupid.
Similar. He said it's stupid.
It's stupid funny. Like, oh man, what? Like, they would say some stupid remark. Like, it's not a movie that you're gonna take serious. It's a movie that you sit around, talk shit about it, laugh it off. Like, what in the hell?
Right.
That's the type of movie. It's a comedy. It's a weak comedy. It's very goofy, very campy. So
right.
I would check it out. It's funny. Obviously Parasite, when it drops, that one is fucking crazy.
So Parasite ain't out yet?
It's not yet. Let
me make sure I'm thinking about the right Parasite. It's like a 3-part cover, right?
Yep.
It's like a face in the middle type of thing it's red, right?
Yes.
I've seen the cover to that a bunch of.
The cover's out. The trailer is out. Right now, it should be released. I mean, distribution should have it tomorrow. So the movie's done. They already have the movie's done. We're just waiting for Tubi to put it on the platform because we cannot control the time. Because usually when you give the movie to Tubi, they do their own work. They can release it in a week. They can release it in a month. We cannot control that.
Oh fuck!
Yeah,
like that.
They have their own thing. They're like, okay, we're gonna release it, and they don't. And they don't
even leave like a heads up, like we're releasing it tomorrow.
Exactly. Like what the fuck?
We play by
fucking movie.
We play by estimates. They'll say we'll have it done because they have to do their own work. They have to curate and make sure it's up in the platform. They have to do their own work on the platform, and they'll tell you, and they don't even tell them. They might say it should be out in 3 weeks. That's it. But they don't have an exact date. You don't have no idea. You cannot control that, and it happens with all distribution because it's at the end of the day, the streaming platforms like these streaming platforms they have their own schedule when they're gonna release, and because usually what they usually do, they release movies, they take some movies away. Like, have you seen Leaving this month?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, because every movie has different contracts. Some movies they'll be like, they cannot accept it. They have to. There's something wrong with the audio. We have to resubmit it. Like, there's several factors, so we cannot control that.
Wow.
Okay.
So we cannot say, it's releasing this day. I'm gonna get my paycheck this day. No, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
That's crazy though. And I do want to ask you this though about sound effects. Who is it that releases some of these gunshots and some of these hand claps and who gives the green light on some of these sound effects?
Well, I cannot vouch for other editors. Some of them they just grab it from YouTube or from a basic library. They just put it in there. Like, personally, what I usually do, I pay a subscription based like licensed stuff.
Okay.
When I'm doing my editing, or sometimes I will actually with my other sound mixer, we will recreate sounds.
Right.
So you would actually go do real sounds.
It depends on the project and the budget, or if I cannot find it, I will recreate it.
I got you.
No.
But a lot of the times, a lot of these editors, like I said, it comes up to the budget. Like, man, I saw they just grab it, record it with a phone. I don't know.
So look, how exactly, like, without going into too much detail, or whatever detail you can or can't go into, how do you actually make money off of independent film? If you're not Tyler Perry Studios or Lionsgate or New Line Cinema or Universal, like, how do you actually go about getting a check when you just putting your own budget, your own money, putting a movie together?
Well, if you're going to go through the Tubi route, it's ad based. So the more people watch the movie, you got more ads in between, and sometimes ads are more like bigger than others. Like, next thing you know, you have a T-Mobile ad. They pay you. Like, the more views, the more ads, the more revenue you make.
Right.
So you need more clicks before you can get more ads, basically.
And then people have to watch the whole film in order for you to get the whole,
have to watch the whole film?
Yeah.
God damn.
Is it the clicks that put the movies like at the top of the recommendation list?
They do.
Okay.
They do. So if let's say, I know Destiny, when we released it, it was on the top for
it was up there for that. That's what made me look at it.
So it was there because the movie did well.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one, like, I know Father May I.
Fumble Me Twice.
Fumble Me Twice.
Yeah.
It surprised me. So it all depends. The more clicks, the more people like it, and obviously people will, if they see the cover is interesting, they'll click on it. They'll see the little piece of the movie, and they'll just go ahead and watch it.
It seemed like that movie that's getting ready to come out, that Polly Love in Atlanta. A lot of people seem to be ready for that.
That's gonna be a hit, bro.
Did you work on that too?
I did that.
It's gonna be a hit, bro.
We worked on that. I shot it, man.
Keep me in mind for part 2 and 3.
Let me tell you something. It was like 6 sex scenes.
It's gonna be a hit though, because there's a lot of hype behind that movie right now.
It was good. That was long nights. We would show up on set like 2:00, and it was 7 a.m. in the morning. We're still shooting.
Damn.
Because there's a lot of night scenes, and keep in mind now it won't get dark until 9 p.m.
Right.
So we're having to, and then keep in mind when you have 6 characters, you have to do 6 different angles, plus the wide, plus the close-up, plus the insert. So that takes time. One scene that they might just be a minute long, you're spending over an hour and a half just to shoot it.
Damn.
Make sure you capture everything. So that one, it's crazy. That one is.
What do you do? So I'm asking this because as a content creator, like, I have like shot like different little skits, and then I'll get to my phone, sit down, and get ready to edit them, and I realize I forgot to shoot something. Like, damn, I forgot to shoot. Does that happen like with movies, or is everything like so like in order where you don't miss nothing? Like you don't forget to film nothing.
When you have a solid AD and a solid production, you cannot miss that. And obviously, when I'm shooting, I'm like, we got all the angles now. I would suggest, what do we do this angle? Or they might say, oh, we don't have time for that. I cannot control that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But it's usually I'm like, let's do this angle. We'll do this. Let's do the insert of this. Let's do this coverage, And then they will have it written down also, like when you have a shot list.
I got you.
But
go ahead. No, what you've been saying, like you got a list of everything that you do so you don't miss it. Who is it that, like, when you see blunders on screen and afterwards and they produce the movie and you like, damn, why the fuck you didn't catch that? Like, what the fuck's going on right here?
Yeah, who not catching the fuck ups? Like
like, I wonder about that.
Well, it also comes down also to like the editor and the directors, and they should sit down and watch it again.
Right.
When I did my movie that's coming out, can I share my screen here?
Thanks.
We are important people now.
Spoiler alert.
So
alert.
This is my teaser trailer of my movie, The Border Baby, coming out. Now, the original, it was 12 days of filming. Then we added 3 more days because we missed some stuff, or we want to make the movie like more interesting. And now that we're going to look at it again, we have 2 more extra days. So we're talking about 16 days of filming because we don't want to miss anything. We're like curating every scene and everything that makes sense. But like I said, it takes time and production. Like sometimes if you're a producer, you don't have 10 months to wait for a movie to be made, and you have to make your money back quick because you can move on the next project.
Right.
So that's a private link. I just sent it to you in the group chat of my teaser. It's called The Border Baby. And like I said, I've been working on this for 10 months and we're almost done because we're making sure there's no fuck ups.
Border Babies. The footage definitely looks like one. Awesome. Murder mystery?
So it's about human trafficking from the border of Mexico. That they kidnap women into the U.S. and they're basically forced into, some of them into prostitution, some of them into surrogacy. And it's basically about this couple who want to have a baby, and they get this girl without knowing that she's being trafficked to have their baby. And at the end of the day, who does that baby belong to? Does it belong to her, the immigrant girl who just been trafficked into the U.S., or does it belong to this couple in the U.S.? So that's the dilemma. Who does the baby belong to? It's called The Border Baby.
Okay, then. Is it in Espanol, or will it have a
movie? 70% of it is in English, but when the immigrant actors speak Spanish, they only speak Spanish, and that's another layer of
that'll be hard though
of the film, because like, how can they communicate to the couple or the authorities? Hey, I've been trafficked, if they don't even know English.
That's
gonna be a bad motherfucker.
Is that all your film, or is it like, so you're not going through, like you're putting that, because that don't look Tubi quality right there. That's what I'm saying. That's that looks that look big screen ready.
That's a bad motherfucker.
That's why I've been taking 10 months to make this movie happen.
Hard, bro.
And keep in mind, I'm shooting it with the same camera that I shot all these other projects, but it's a bigger crew, it's a bigger budget. It's not just me with the camera. I'm not even, some of those scenes, I'm not even touching the camera. I'm co-directing and producing. So I'm bringing in cinematographers. I'm bringing in follow focus. I had 3 or 4 people doing just lighting. I had a guy doing sound. Like, it was a big crew. But obviously,
so is it your story? Did you create the story?
So the executive producer, and he came up with the original idea. His name is Victor. He loves movies, but he doesn't. This is not his full-time work. He's just passionate about movies, and he presented this project to me, and I was like, I liked it, I loved it. I brought in another co-director, who's actually he actually only speaks Spanish, so but he's really good. He's from Ecuador, and we brought him. He lives here. We have worked together on several projects. I was like, I want you to envision how would the immigrants would talk, how would when we collaborated the direction. He did most of it because I was focusing a lot of I was co-directing, but I was mostly production wise, making sure everything is straight, and we made it work. So we're almost done. We're adding some extra scenes. We're trying to make it juicier, trying to make it more interesting because we want this to go to a bigger platform.
That's what I was going to ask you. What's your ultimate goal with that film?
Obviously, Netflix or Hulu.
Queen of the South worthy.
Exactly. So yeah.
So like, would that be like more of a licensing thing? So like, if say Netflix wanted it, like, would they have to license it from you, or would they buy it from you outright?
Every contract is different. Every contract. Sometimes they will say, "We'll give you $150,000 for the movie's hours for 5 years," and does it make sense for us? Maybe it doesn't make sense. We'll see. We just gotta play it by ear. Or let's say another platform says, "We'll give you $500,000 and it's ours for 2 years." All right, so we gotta negotiate which one is to give us the better deal.
Right.
If they were willing to take it. So we just gotta see if the numbers make sense, if the executive producer is happy with what he's gonna get, because obviously he funded the whole movie.
Right.
Director, co-director, producer, we get a percentage, but obviously at the end of the day, the bigger pie goes to him because he put in the all the money for it. And I think it's gonna also make us grow as filmmakers, have more exposure. We get it on a bigger platform, like, hey, I did this. So, another producer or another major studio, like, they see what other projects we come up with, they'll give us more money to make it work,
Man, that's dope.
So that's the plan for this movie. We're trying to finish it. We're trying to have it done by September. It's almost done. The editing is almost done, but since we just shot 4 scenes 3 weeks ago, and we're about to shoot in 2 weeks from now the last 4 scenes, and we're done with the movie.
Y'all shooting this in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Damn.
And that's the magic of it. We're trying to find locations.
That's what I was doing actually. Like, how y'all pulling off like the border look?
Exactly.
Like, it looked like y'all in Mexico. Like, how y'all put it off in Atlanta?
And that's the magic of movie making. Even there's this one particular scene. I was shooting in Vegas last week, and I saw this mountaintop. I was like, man, this would fit in perfect for what I need for this particular scene. So I was like, I pulled out my camera, I shot a little bit of what I needed to connect it.
Oh shit! That's hard right there.
Like, do your brain automatically work that way? Like whenever you're just out and about, you will see something that'll be a dope spot for a scene. It automatically spin.
It's always on that.
That's what's up, though, man. But do you have any do you have any ideas for how can I say it, for the new generation, like the way social media, like a film that can attack the millennials? Like, do you have any ideas on shooting a film that can
resonate with the youth?
Well,
yeah, basically,
us millennials, we are big into nostalgia.
Uh-huh.
So any movie that we can basically, like, that's why they're bringing Twister out. They're bringing Ghostbusters because we grew up with that.
Right.
And some of the movies that are making money now because we're the nostalgic generation. And I don't see myself maybe redoing one of those, but maybe inspired by that.
Okay.
Like, I love Back to the Future. I would like to do something like Back to the Future, not Back to the Future. I don't want to touch Back to the Future, but if I were to do a movie now, I'm like, hey man, let me do something similar to that.
With like some CG animations and shit.
Huh?
With like some CG animated type shit.
Yeah, definitely. And playing with like the time travel type of stuff, like, yeah, definitely.
Man, you said you was in the animation a while back. Now you fuck with Dragon Ball Z?
I'm 31 years old. Okay, so when I was growing up, I never saw Dragon Ball.
Damn.
My mom did not let me watch Dragon Ball. She thought it was like bad for me, satanic, whatever.
Damn.
My wife loves Dragon Ball, and I started watching Dragon Ball like last year. So right now, I just spent the whole year watching. So now I know what Dragon Ball, and I like it. I enjoy it, but it's like I missed out all of this in my childhood. Are you serious,
bro? Let me just, I don't want to sit on Dragon Ball for too long, but I am going to say every day after school, we would take off running off the bus to catch Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. That was life growing up.
I swear.
And I missed out on that. She did not let me watch none of that. She same as Harry Potter. My mom did not. My mom was a very strict woman.
Mm-hmm.
She is, and even I was like, I saw Harry Potter for the first time when I was like 23.
Right.
What did you think about some of your films?
Huh?
What does your mom think about some of your more vulgar films?
The ones that I do now?
Yeah.
She hasn't seen.
She's like, what the fuck?
She has no idea what I'm doing.
That's what's up.
I bet if she sees some of them and she's like, what? Mom, I gotta get paid, paycheck.
I swear.
We gotta get it.
On the way. Like, listen, if you're not gonna pay my bills, you can't say nothing.
Right. Well, man, Lilo, bro, check it out, man. It was a pleasure. It was an honor, man. This was a privilege to be able to sit down and rap with you, man. I appreciate you, man, lacing us with all this game, sitting back, dialoguing with us, man, having a drink with us. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everything. Look, before we head out, I do want to ask you, is there anything you want to ask us before we head up out of here?
When is the next episode dropping?
Oh. We got the interview with Miss Peggy Logan. We're gonna drop that, and we're probably going to review "Don't Fumble Me Twice."
Yeah, Don't Fumble Me Twice. Yeah,
and then we're probably gonna drop your episode, and then we're gonna go in to probably Thanksgiving. You know, because
nice.
Like I say, like the platform is kind of taking off. It's taking off faster than what we thought it would. Like I say, I wasn't planning on promoting it at all to like the 7th, 8th episode. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to have a bunch of content, so whenever that one video go viral, because that's how I went viral.
Right.
Like at one point in time, so I think my most viewed video is like 12.6 million views.
Oh wow.
But, yeah, appreciate it. But before that, I was only getting like, bro, I was barely cracking 1,000. You know what I'm saying? I had like maybe 400 followers, but I kept dropping content. I had like maybe 200 videos up. So when that one video went viral, everybody just literally said and binge watched my page. So that's what I wanted to do with this. I'm like, look, bro, we're gonna get up to about 8 episodes. Then I'm gonna just go promoting crazy. So we can
that kind of backfired out. Everybody's watching it.
Right.
No, but you guys have the I would say the charisma. You guys, what you guys are doing is great. It's also creating, shedding some spotlight into these creators. And like we can make movie happen. Like we don't have to be attached to a big studio movie. We are creators. We are our art is being heard, and I appreciate it, man. And I would love to come back anytime and and talk more.
That's what's up, man. We appreciate it for real.
We definitely appreciate it, bro. Man, it's all love, man. Well,
all right, man.
We're gonna wrap it up, and we definitely look forward to seeing what you got going on in the future, and we definitely hope, man, to be able to talk to you again in the future. Much respect, props, and prosperity goes out to everything you got planned in the future, man. I hope you make it so I can say I knew you first.
Or vice versa.
I appreciate it, bro.
All right,
man. Y'all. Peace.
Have a good one.